Komm in den totgesagten Park. Komm in den totgesagten Park und schau. Der Schimmer ferner lächelnder Gestade, der reinen Wolken unverhofftes Blau erhellt die Weiher und die bunten Pfade. Dort nimm das tiefe Gelb, das weiche Grau von Birken und von Buchs. Der Wind ist lau. Die späten Rosen welkten noch nicht ganz. Erlese, küsse sie und flicht den Kranz. Vergiss auch diese letzten Astern nicht, den Purpur um die Ranken wilder Reben. Und auch was übrig blieb von grünem Leben, verwinde leicht im herbstlichen Gesicht.
In Castrum Peregerini abuse of boys was very common. I, frankly Voet, experienced firsthand that decades of sexual abuse of boys and young men, there within the Amsterdam Castrum Peregerini, that circle around the German émigré and writer Wolfgang Frommel, and his pedagogical eros was a sufficient cover. But what did that nurturing love actually involve, and where did it come from? Frommel could go back to a rich German tradition, with boy prostitutes and their homosexual initiation. The romantic friendship between 19th-century men was transformed into an educational system in the 20th century, as it were. Physical contact in theory need was part of that relationship. Plato's more than 2 millennia-old text Symposium. It describes the pedagogical eros, a man's educational love for a boy, a love that was to train the boy in his youth to wisdom, or at least to become a successful citizen in the Greek polis. In Castrum Peregerini, the esoteric men's club, in which platonic friendship was the greatest good, I too became part of an organization that formalized, normalized and promoted the sexual abuse of boys, although I had no idea at the time. Stefan George and Wolfgang Frommel, who sacralized that love in the deification of a boy. George was whom he met and took under his wing in Munich at the beginning of the last century. This Maximilian Kronberger would become George's Maximin after his untimely death at the age of 16. A tightly organized collection of 100 short poems, Der Stern des Bunds, was the formalization of George's divine version of pedagogical eros. Wolfgang Frommel was a George adept. He copied his appearance, lifestyle and parenting model. The abuse has a place within Frommel's view of the pedagogical eros grafted on George. In a poem, George emphasizes eros's two-sidedness. One side is clear and light, ist hell wenn leuchtet. The other is dark, he is dark and he drags us into the streams in which we shiver blind and drunk. Can you know where he is leading me with you? A sacrificial lamb on the altar of erotic passion. He writes. He found in a letter a description of how Frommel did not entice another friend to sex ceremonially. One of them said that it was like a visit to a boy brothel. And then there were boys who never became part of the Castrum circle and only experienced the lust of that circle. The claim to fame of Castrum's pedagogical eros is that a number of Jewish boys survived their hiding under the care of Frommel thanks to his educational eroticism.
For special boys, so for this sound piece which you can hear in this space. And by the way, in the back of the room you can also see another work by Marlène Dumas. And that's also very interesting. Let's first say something about Marlène Dumas in relation to the work of Jeanette Christensen. And Jeanette Christensen's work shows in a way the refusal of reflection on Breivik, which bestows shame on him. Whereas here, this is the opposite of a kind of refusal of reflection. Here you see a young boy reflecting on his erection. a big problem for him, clearly. Not something to be proud of, but rather a problem. Special. First of all, when he was a young boy, his best friend was not a human being, but his best friend was the piano or music. Second, the second thing that made him very special and different, so and in that respect also shameful, was that he had a rather high-pitched voice, very different from other boys. The third issue which made him special and perhaps also shameful was to be a moffie. And moffie in Afrikaans, in South Africa, means a gay man. Penis. Her title is The Making of Myths. So what is the problem of an erection? The problem of an erection is not sexually, there's no problem at all, I would say on the contrary, but the problem is that in our culture an erect penis stands for the phallus, and the phallus has nothing to do with that male member, that male bodily part, but that is a kind of symbol, very important in our culture, that stands for power, control, and so on. All kinds of qualities that are in our culture exclusively attributed to men. So in that sense is an erection makes myths. Here, however, we see another work by Marlène Dumas. It's called Schets voor een monument voor de vrede. It's a sketch for a peace monument.
Sexual body. What I really liked was that sort of, I read somewhere that Deleuze said about, he dismissed the psychoanalysis of Freud in one sentence, saying that it's just a dirty little secret between the legs, and that's I tried to look for the middle ground between Freud and Deleuze, so to say.
But he said a dirty little secret
between the legs.
Is
yes.
this dirty?
No, and that's why I said that I was looking for the middle ground, sort of and because, to be honest, I think for me the aspect of shame is quite new to present these drawings. Yeah. And what I like about it is that shame, I think, is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. That it's not intentional. That I was not dealing with the issue of shame in that sense. Freud explains the origin of myth in one sentence somewhere, and that has to do with the son overcoming the father, the son being bigger than the father. So that is. Where the myth comes in Freud, and again I was trying to find looking for an objective view, and therefore also paying a lot of attention to detail.
En mannelijkheid, en ik zou zeggen het probleem van mannelijkheid illustreert. We zien hier een portret van Marlène van Pasolini, de Italiaanse filmmaker, maar ook schrijver, Pasolini. En hieronder heeft zij een gedicht van hem vertaald naar het Nederlands geschreven. En dat is niet alleen een schitterend gedicht, maar ook juist het Nederlands van die vertaling is heel bijzonder. En daar wil ik die toch voorlezen in het Nederlands. En mijn liefdes zijn louter taal van zinnen, gekneld tussen sacrale plooien van lust, sadistisch, masochistisch, de broeken met een lauwe zak waarin het lot van een man getekend ligt. Nou, mooier kan het niet.